I'm gonna dance by myself like nobody.
The Crochet Crowd, Michael speaking.
Back away, Sage.
Dance like nobody's watching me.
So what we have to do is we have to orientate this bottom half to match the top half.
Don't really care if my rhythm's off, 'cause I'm gonna.
Good morning and welcome everybody to a beautiful Sunday morning here in Nova Scotia. Still waiting for it to rain in our region. It's been a very serious drought this summer. So it looks like it's promising to rain, but according to the index, it's going around us again for the millionth time. So I have a design in my head that is going to be showing on camera. And I have one more thought process before I start getting into my Christmas as far as designing. And so I was actually really inspired by Sarah from Repeat Crafter Me and using Red Heart Granny Square all-in-one ground. And so the color transitions happen on its own. It's supposed to actually make these squares, but I saw that she did it with the pumpkin. And so I released that pumpkin earlier last week. And of course, giving Sarah credit for that because I thought it was a brilliant idea. So one of the pumpkins that I have is that it has spacing that I really don't love. And so what I want to do before I get out of this season and into the next, I want to kind of look at that design and see what I can do to fix that design to make it more suitable for me. So we have some people joining us this morning. We have Deborah and Babs and Ola Joe. Mr. Sailor is having a birthday, so she got up early to make him breakfast. I never saw my breakfast this morning. So actually we bought some home baking at a craft show, or sorry, at a farmer's market yesterday. The whole loaf is going in the garbage. Somehow they mixed cinnamon raisin with sourdough bread. Yeah. Horrible conversation, or a horrible taste. So what I want to do is that most of you know that when I design on screen first. But today what I want to do is to design it and crochet as I go. So I might be here for quite some time trying to get this pattern out of my head. Looking at the existing design, what would I have done differently? That is kind of my goal for this particular pumpkin. So we're going to make a pumpkin today. It will be on screen. You'll be able to, if you know how to read diagrams. Most of you know that when I crochet design, I actually do it in diagram format and then and then make the words later. So anyway, so we will get that done. When I say we, I mean all my personalities. So I have a hard time diagramming out hats and stuff like that, things in a round circle when it comes to where the circle starts off flat and then it curves around. So it starts off flat and it curves around. That's harder to design on screen. And so, you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my screen. So the crochet symbols are already drawn by me in a template that I am selling on my sister website. So if you're ever looking for that, you can contact me through that site. It's MikeyStitchStudio.com. And yeah, so I kind of look at that for there. So let's take a look. And somebody is apparently coming to Nova Scotia and PI and heading to PI today. So you should enjoy that. It's a wonderful experience to try. So we are setting up a Prince Edward Island crochet event. We're not ready to do that yet, but we will be setting that up as soon as we know everything. So we got our hotel locked in. We got theater tickets, I think. And so what we have to do is figure out our route and then hire the bus company to get us around. So yeah, so Karen is working currently on that. And later this week, I'm heading off to, later this week, I'm heading off to Scotland to put together a trip with Karen. So we're doing multiples of stops to figure out where a crochet group should go. So I know, crazy, right? So I'm going to jump screens now and I'll show you what's on my screen, and I will be here. And if you have any questions or any conversation, I am watching the comments. So I will share my screen with you today. So most of you know that I design using Adobe Illustrator. All the symbols that you see here are actually drawn by me. So we will go through there. And we're going to start off. And so what I need to do is convert a pumpkin pattern to changing its size, but also the texture. I love texture. If it doesn't have texture, I won't do it because I'm not lazy. I'm just adamant that I like texture. So we're going to jump screens here, and all of my symbols are already drawn by me, and I just copy and paste stuff when I need it. So what is the first color of crochet diagrams? Of course, it's always going to be black. That is just the standard, and we're going to place that in there. So we're going to do a chain 4 and join it with a slip stitch at the end. So what I'm going to do for this particular pumpkin, because it's harder to design, is that I'm only going to design a section of it and then tell the crocheter they just need to go all the way around it. So we're going to take a look at this one here, and we're going to chain 4, and then we're going to put in some some single crochet. So let's go get some black single crochet because it's still the first round. So everything is working like a rotation. People that have seen me do this in the past. And we just kind of guess where things go. And I want 10 single crochets to go into the center of the chain 4. So we're going to rotate that around and move that so it does 10. So I'm going to do the first few rounds until I get to the size that I want, and then we're going to section it off. So 360 degrees divided by 10 stitches is what I need. And so this will follow then around. And I have to make sure I'm on the first round. So let's just select all this stuff. I don't worry about, for those that follow me, I don't worry about the slip stitching or chain work until the end of the project. So we're going to move that all onto the current layer. So everything is done by layers. So there will be more than 11 by the time I get done. Okay, so what is the easiest way to chart this son of a gun out? We are going to do, I'm going to need a circle for reference. So I use a circle to know where the stitches are going to go. And I always color my circles green. Anybody that follows me knows that. So once you see how these diagrams are made, they actually give insight on how to follow them, because you can follow the thought process. So what we need to do now is we need to double the size of our circle by putting 2 stitches into everything. So the next round, number 2, is going to be blue, and we're going to need 2 types of stitches. We're going to need a double crochet, and we're also going to need a single crochet in blue. Okay, so I'm just going to put those there. So if we know that this is going to double its size, what I want to do is that I want to just hit height. And for space reasons, I'm going to just make this a little bit shorter. So it does not change the meaning of a stitch when you have the height of the stitch changed like that. It doesn't change the meaning. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that guy out so I can see it. And I think the best way to do something, what I'm about to do, is to, let me think. I'm going to do a line going up. We're going to make this guy red. So this is just a reference point. So there's going to be 20 of these going around the circle. And all I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to figure out the spacing so that these can double its size. So I don't want one coming straight up and then the other outward. I want it to go out so it's like a V shape. So I'm going to rotate that around. I haven't diagrammed anything in a while, so this is, it's like old hat at this point. Okay, so we're gonna, I want 360 degrees divided by 20 stitches because we're gonna double our stitches here, and we're gonna copy it. Okay. So the problem is that I don't want the stitches going straight up, so we're gonna lock the first layer so we don't switch this, and we're going to rotate this around. I'm just eyeing it out, and I think that's good enough. And then we're going to go to, this is round number 2. I'm going to rotate him sideways so the top matches the angle of the circle. I'm not worried about the base yet. And then I want to move him. He's also part of the same one. And what I'm going to do is come right in there and move the base over. So the bottom of the stitch points to where you need to go. So they share the same stitch, so I'm going to put them together like that. And because it's on an angle, I want to make sure that the angle is kind of mentioned. And I also want to change the height of that and bring it on down. So I want it to look like it's going right there. And I'm okay with the angle of that one. We're going to put these guys together as a group, and then we're going to rotate that around. Actually, no, we're not. We need 2 more of those. We need 2 of these. So we need, it's a pumpkin shape, so it has to suck in. We're going to ungroup this guy. The pumpkin sucks itself in, so let's ungroup that and move this to match the angle of the top. Then we're going to rotate this guy to match the angle that this is leaning towards. So there's 2 double crochets in a row, side by side. How can you, well, it's currently almost 10 o'clock in my time zone. And I'm a morning person. That's why I don't do crochet crowd stuff like after supper pretty much. I'm exhausted. I do stitch after lunch, but I don't, or after supper, but I don't work it technically. I don't work the online world. Okay, so I got that done. So now that is the base of our pumpkin here. So we need to take this guy and rotate that around. So I get a lot of complaints for these graphs. I don't know how to read them. Well, you know what? There's something for you to learn. But realistically, some people have dyslexia as well. So it's impossible for them to read it. So there is that too. I will be legit about that. Okay, so we're going to rotate this guy around, and he has 10. There's going to be 10 repeats. No, there's not. There's going to be 5. Let's try again. because I got 4 stitches, so there's actually 5 repeats, not 10. So the pumpkin is actually in sets, is actually divided into 5. We're going to rotate. And I want this pumpkin to have texture, so I'm going to 360 degrees divided by 5 sections, and there we go. And that was round number 2. Okay. Okay, we need to get to the next round. So we're going to take out these guys. So they're just there as a holder point for me. I like the height of these, so I'm going to keep that and move it to round number 3. Center the current layer, and I also got to make sure they're black because it's the next layer. I don't know how people with color blindness handle the black and the blue, but that's a thing with that is a standard of the stitch or of crochet for. Okay, so we're going to make this circle bigger. It's our reference circle. So Shift and Command makes the circle get bigger, keeping the center point exactly where it needs to go. Okay, so my next thing that we have is that we are going to expand. I'm wondering, I think we should just, okay, so I told you I'm redesigning. I think, let me just get a pen and paper here. I think, so we have 20 stitches, 20 stitches. What if I did 2 doubles? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 5 is 30. So then we go from 20 to 30 stitches. Let's get a line up for reference. Let's just use this as a reference point. Let's get back to round number 3. So if I'm going to rotate, and Daniel is canning today, by the way. You might hear him banging around upstairs. He's doing tomatoes today. 360 degrees divided by 30 stitches. Let's see where that lands. You know what? So Christy is doing the Mediterranean, bringing the husband this time. Whoa. Christy, I was communicating with you earlier on the private group, the Nova Scotia trip. Our guest this week was actually making that pattern and complaining about it as well. And I think it might be the same complaints that you're having with it as well. So we're going to ungroup that. So the diagrams, my diagrams are always designed going counterclockwise, unless you have to turn it around and do the wrong side. So if that helps you to know that, and Yarn Inspirations also is the same way. So we both maintain a standard with that as well. So my pumpkin pattern that I've developed is now changing officially. because why create something I've already done before? So let's see how it works out, right? Yeah, so Christy, what her comment was is that she felt the designer has stuff out of order, that she wished the designer would have had them do certain things. I think it's especially the embroidery part, had them do it at a different point. That was her commenting, but I don't have any experience with the pattern to give any insight. But I was kind of really floored on the Nova Scotia private group that you posted to this morning that you were working the same one she was. But she said she'd never do it again. But she's glad she did it. So for those that are watching, Christy was with us in Nova Scotia. She's traveled with me before. She's outrageously fun. Outrageously fun. Mm-hmm. And I think Christy and I are the same age as well. I know, Lord help us. Okay, I think this guy has to go here. And this guy. Oh, there we go. So this is round number 5, or sorry, round number 3. Group out. Is Jane cold today? Where's Jane? Somebody says, Jane, morning from Michigan, staying warm. Is it cold in Michigan today? Okay, we're going to rotate around. So I went to a fiber festival yesterday. For those that are on our Facebook, you know that. Anyway, it happens every year, and the show is just getting better and better as the years move on. So it's hosted by. Why didn't that go? It's hosted by Sisterhood Fibers, and they're out of I don't know where they're out of. They're out of Nova Scotia. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, they did a really good show over the past 3 days, so it's not on today. So it was Thursday to Saturday. So they did workshops and stuff like that. Okay, that was round 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is that I am going to grab my crochet hook and start and see what, and make sure it's not going to buckle. So I'm using Red Heart all-in-one granny ground yarn. Let's take a look and try this pattern. So where my mistakes are in patterns is converting the diagram to words, because I go backwards. I design this way, so chain 1 and then 10 single crochet into the center. And I'm using a smaller hook than normal for Red Heart Super Saver, so that it's an amigurumi base, so I'm keeping it tighter. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, then I'm going to, let me just put my starting points are going to be right here. Let me just grab something in the back, copy, take it back with me. I'm going to say my starting point for when I do this is going to be here. It's going to put a red circle. So that's chain one, one single crochet, and one double crochet in the beginning, and then one double crochet, one single crochet into the next. Okay, so one single crochet, one double, one single. So single, double, and double. Single, single, double, and double, and single, single, double, double, single, and attach with a slip stitch to the beginning single crochet. So there's 5. Yes. So we're going to take that guy, we're going to move him up too. So this is my change in my pattern right here. So let's see what it looks like. Chain one, one single into the first, and then 2 doubles into the next. And then 2 doubles into the next. So the singles will cause the pumpkin to suck in. So single. And we have Kelly this morning. Do you normally crochet a row and then diagram it? Yes, technically yes. Because I want to make sure it works. Because if I move on in the design and it's not working, then I'm wasting my time in the design. Right, right. And we have MG in the house this morning. Okay, and then 2 singles. So this yarn is going to change color on its own. So you cannot figure out the diagrams. I'm not a strong reader. I'm pretty transparent that I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, and so I can read. I just don't enjoy reading. And so as a kid, because of it, I learned to crochet using diagrams because I can see a roadmap. I can see what the project looks like in diagram format versus reading the words and getting confused. So that's kind of my superpower. Okay, so this is the base of what it looks like so far. So it looks like a flower right now, and it's going to have a pucker. Do we like puckers? Yes, we do. Okay, so we got now round number 4 going in. So we're going to get rid of these. We might as well keep the reference point, at least one of them. Saves time. And let's save my work. My computer is automatically saving. I'm just doing it anyway, just because I'm paranoid. I think I'm going to cause more of a pucker. in the next one. So I like the height of these guys. So I'm going to take the height with me and move these to round number 4. Arrange, send to the current layer, and let's make them blue. And let's ungroup these guys. So ungroup. So if I have 30 stitches, right, I'm going to record that. I have some writing below that I can take. There we go. So I always use the same fonts when it comes to the writing. It's just Helvetica. So I got 10, because I'm going to have to write this guy later. I got 10. And then there's 20. And now there's 30. What? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 6 will work. Six. I am going to, I'm winging it now. Let's get this guy to be bigger. Oh, I took out my reference point because I'm an idiot. Okay, so if there is 30 there, and there was 3, 4, 5, 6 times 5. What if I put in 2, 2, 2, and 2? So that's 8, 9, 10. 10 times 5 equals 50. Rotate that around. So I think there's going to be 50. Cancel. I want just this guy. So, oh, I have to ungroup. So I'm going to go to 50 this time. This one thing, there's a thing in Adobe Illustrator that you can't make a central point in the document. You always have to point to it, which I find annoying as hell. So one day that'll happen, but okay, so what if I put in okay, so what if I put in that, and then I put in that, and I grab these 4. Okay, so let's try that. And before I go any further, I want to actually see what it looks like before I do that. I want to see if the pucker's too much. The Illustrator took me years, like years and years. That's why I'm charging for some of the diagrams. It took me years. There are so many things that I'm pushing on my keyboard that if you don't, and it has to be pushed in the right order. And if you don't do it, it doesn't work. So it just changed color on its own. Remember, if you're ever interested, we are looking for guests for our podcast. You can find more information on the events section of our website, thecrochetcrowd.com, to apply to be a guest on our show if you're really interested in doing so. The last several guests have been saving questions for me to ask me in person. And I don't always know the answer, but sometimes there's a bit of perspective to share. So I know things, but I don't know everything. So my problem with the design right now, I have 50 stitches, which is not equally divisible by 3. No, I don't think that is. I'll get my calculatrice out really shortly. Oh, Wendy's joining us this morning. To Deborah, you're back with us for loose ends. Awesome. Yes. And you recovered from our loose ends. I really like the loose ends because I really honestly don't know who the guest is, and I actually find it kind of a challenge to kind of navigate a conversation with a stranger. It's no difference than approaching somebody in a yarn aisle and trying to figure out how to make a conversation work. I quite enjoy that, but not everybody's cup of tea. And I don't like to have questions in my head for the guests before I go and talk to them, because I think it's a natural conversation of curiosity that makes it work. Daniel was commenting to me yesterday that he's surprised that, like, because it's been running since January, that we're still doing it. He thought we'd quit by now. But I do enjoy it. Okay, that actually works. So that's what it looks like now. So it changed color on its own. And I'm at 50, but that's not, I want a divisible number by 3. And why do I know that? Because I am talented. So I had been binge watching Tabitha's Salon Takeover with Tabitha. Anyway, I found her episodes just by accident on YouTube. Anyway, I've been binge watching the hell out of that. And she says, I am tough, I am talented, I'm taking over. Anyway, so then these hairdressers, especially the gay ones, are all up in arms of having somebody tell them what to do. It's quite fun. Fun. I always thought there should be like a crochet reality show, but what makes me hesitant on that is that I don't want to be responsible for killing somebody's creativity, because I honestly think some of these, and you can comment to this, I think some of these reality shows, they end up killing the creativity of the contestant, saying, well, I was never good enough, and they quit. And so I never want to be responsible for that kind of negativity. Right. So it's the single crochet that causes it to suck in. So I used to watch Tapas Show, love the show. Yeah. So anyway, I just found a new hairdresser actually on Friday. I've been going to the same person for a long time, but the same person is not opening their salon on time. And I'm a working guy, and I drive all the way there just to realize they're not open yet. No note, no sign on the door, no message on Facebook. Nobody answers the phone because they're not there. So anyway, I decided to find a new hairdresser. I didn't want to, but it was time. My time is valuable too. And I'm sure they probably have a legitimate reason. But anyway, I drove there twice this week only to realize they're still closed. And maybe they're open during the day, but I have been there literally and waited like 10 minutes after they're supposed to be open, and then they finally show up. But so anyway, the other day I went, and then we went a half hour later and they were still closed. So maybe there's something going wrong in their lives, but I need stability. Right? Anybody have that kind of issue? Daniel's canning. Hopefully that wasn't full of canning stuff. Okay, so this is what this design looks like right now. Okay, so my problem is, and I got many problems, but what is my problem? So I want to get to how many stitches? I want to get to 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19 times 5 is 45. 8, 9. Okay, so I'm a long way to Tipperary at this point. So I got 50 stitches. I want up to 100 stitches in the circle but I need to start doing my braiding or it's not going to work. I'll get that out of the way. So Jane says, oh my God, the hairdresser triple booked. I hate when doctors do that too. I've actually quit going to like a chiropractor because of that. Anyway, the guy was constantly overbooking himself. And so anyway, so I ended up sitting there for an hour for my 2-minute adjustment. And I'm like, my time is worth something, but of course it goes on deaf ears. And it's like, divide by 5. There's 5 pieces of the puzzle. Oh crap. I was on the wrong layer. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that was in the right layer. Okay, good. Okay, so I want to get do I need to I need to turn around and go backwards for the next round. Round number 5. To get the braiding to work on a pumpkin, you got to go backwards. Or the braiding lines don't go straight up. So I think the next round, if there was 50, I am going to cheat a little bit. The bigger the diagram, the harder it is to get that center point. Okay, so there's going to be 50 points. Copy. There we go, got it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat at this point. I'm going to, because it's easier for the crocheter to see it, to drag it down, but I want to keep the tops the same. If you change the distance of the tops, then what I just did is not possible. Okay, this is round number 5. And it's got to go backwards, so I'm going to put an arrow there in a few moments. Group. Oh, there's one missing right there. I didn't put enough in there. Let's try again. See, I'm missing this one right here. So I got to make sure I nail this one right here on the other side, or it will not align. Okay, let's rotate. I could have guessed it, but then my alignment's not going to be right. Command D. I see I need this one because I'm missing this one right there. Got it. Group and rotate. Is there a size chart for Afghans blankets that you would recommend? When I Google, I find there are many charts. It makes it very confusing. Yes, we have it on our website. If you do Afghan sizes or blanket sizes in our search, Jane, you will find all the sizes. And the sizes also include the drape. Without drape, and the drape is what hangs over the edge of the bed. We have that available on our website if you're interested in that. That's a common question. It's probably the most used article on our website. Okay, so that was number 5. And I also want to put an arrow in. So I'm going to change this one here. And I want to convert that to an arrow. And rotate it around, so I'm going to go that way. This is for my reference. So in actual fact, the line is there, and 50 is going to be maintained. Okay, so let's turn our work and do that. So on braiding, if you don't turn around on it, the braiding will go up on an angle. And it might be cool for a pumpkin, but I think people would complain about that. So anyway, Wendy has found you the chart. It was a new traffic circle. Holy cow. I saw that the other day. The lady was going the wrong way on the roundabout here in town. But I think you only do that once or you just avoid it altogether. So the sizing, the chains is just an idea, Denisha. So it does change per that. And also if the pattern has a multiple, then that would change as well. So it's just a rough idea based on my own intention of how many stitches it takes to do the rough sizes of blankets. But you are right. Yeah. Okay, so what am I going to do? I need to get, I don't have to worry about that yet. I need an, I think I need an odd number. No, I need an even number. I don't know what I need. So yeah, the chevrons for sure. The chevrons need a lot more stitches. You're right about that. One more stitch. I thought so. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. And then we return to go back around. And I think we need to start doing texture work. Round number 6. So I need to increase the size, but I also need texture. So what am I going to do for that? If I take the 4 groups of those and make 1 extra per one, then that's equals 3. So there's the odd number that I need. So let's grab, I need a front post double crochet like right now. What color was it? I need a blue one. Front post double crochet. Copy. And let's move on to my next round. Okay, so by just doing that, I just screwed it up. So I'm going to I don't want to change the shape of that. Let me just get rid of this out. We're going to ungroup it. Ungroup. And then put it back together. Group. So if I do oh, I made it too short. If I do, sorry, I'm thinking. So I want, if there's currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 times 5 is 50. So what if I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 times 5 is what? Is 70. So we can get up to 70 stitches in the next round if I do what I'm about to do. 70. There's my reference point. Seventy stitches. (360° by 70 stitches. I'm on layer 6. I want to keep those pretty much standard, stable. It's more stable than your host today. So what's the long time his spiral from the middle is my favorite. Is the spiral, is that the never ending granny squares, Denisha? I did that when I was a kid because I couldn't figure out how to do corners. So it's something that I officialized once I became the crochet crowd and that kind of concept. But it was something I was already doing as a kid because I couldn't figure out the corners. Okay, so what we need to do is that we need to change these guys are going to become a mess if I don't change things now. Why can't I click that? So I'm going to make the top more narrow. And the sizing of the tops and the crosses in the middle are not reflective of changing the meaning of the stitch. So we're going to put that back together, a group. So what I want to do actually, he needs to go in the front post. He needs to also go to that front post. And then he needs to go front post, but back the other way. Okay, so let's just, so he needs to go backward. He needs to go here. He's going to cross back over in the front to give texture. And these guys here are going to share the same base. So we're going to get rid of one of them. He goes over. So he's going to share the same base because it's the same. It's going to be two in the same stitch. Front post. I don't know why it's doing that. That's weird, eh? Save my work. And what I'm going to do for clarification, I'm going to make this guy gray. So he looks like, oh no, I'm going to make these guys gray because they're going to be behind this guy. And that will clarify with the crocheter, especially who don't speak English, that this guy is in front of these two. So basically these two stitches just became three. And we like that. So we're going to continue that same idea. Going over. I have to redirect the base, but it's the same concept. So I want it again. And one more time, because I already got the first one in. Okay, let's realign. So Denisha's made stability is overrated, instability is more fun. I've got that right. But that's my story, and I'm going to stick with it. Just ask Christy. If any one character I feel like on television, I'm actually Samantha from Sex and the City, because I like to play with all the crayons inside my box. Okay, so let's realign. Controlled chaos. I don't know if my chaos is controlled, that's for sure. A victim of my own circumstances. I say that all too often. I actually have this stupid note on my, which actually is helpful once in a while. I have a note. You know how you can do a bio line on your Facebook, on your personal? I have a bio line that says, it says something to the fact that keep my opinion to myself if I don't want the drama. And sometimes I have to remind myself of that. There are some people worth fighting with, and then there's other people that's like, nope, not today, Satan. There's actually something going on that I have not commented to that's just bothering the hell out of me, but it's not my problem. Because I actually want to tell the person that they're being short-sighted and not thinking about other people. But you know what? They'll figure it out. Their friends will probably rip into them one day. Okay. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so let's put these guys together. Anyway, the circumstance is happening someday I don't even know, so it's just like, whatever. You'll figure your life out. And essentially the person's being a victim of their own decisions. Okay, so we're going to rotate that around. So the customer, I haven't done a customer service one in a while. Just been kind of giving that a rest. I think if you do it too often, it loses its fun. At least for me, it is. 360 divided by 5. So there is number 5. The 70 is still not big enough, so I will. Okay, I'm going to do that on the sample. So the right side's facing up, chain 1, 1 single. So okay, so let's do it. So bon voyage on the Scotland trip. Yeah, we're going to find the right crochet event to do. That's our goal. So we have all these locations we're going to be visiting, and then going to make a crochet tour group from what we see and from the experiences of the people that we're going to be meeting. So we have a better understanding on what we need to do to make that happen. So Karen and I are going together, come up with a good trip. And Karen and I travel really well together. We're going to be sharing a room for a week. I know. So she told me I have to get new underwear. She said, "Your well, my underwear is all like ripped and old." And so I tend to walk around in my underwear when we share a room. And anyway, so she goes, "You need underwear." She goes, "I'm not having that." So I had to go and buy new underwear. The biggest challenge that I'll have through the whole thing probably is I don't like to sleep with clothes on. So I find it's really constrictive. So I tend to panic attack in the middle of the night if I'm wearing something. So I'll have to wear something because I'm sharing a room. So that'll be interesting. So Karen is mapping out. So it's going to be a cross-country trip, as far as I understand. So we're renting a vehicle. I had to get my international driver's license, which I didn't even know was a thing, so I could drive on the wrong side of the road, or on the right side of the road, as Scotland would say. So I'm a little nervous about that. My family is actually from England, and my dad took us there a few times when we were kids, and he made a turn onto a road and turned right into oncoming traffic just because everything's on the opposite side of the road. So yeah, so I'm a little nervous about that. And then of course my friend Bruce has to talk about well, they got roundabouts, make sure you go around the right way. And I'm like, oh God, I never even thought of that. So yeah. Who needs friends? Who needs enemies when you got friends that say shit like that? It's kind of funny. So anyway, my dream trip, I have a couple of dream trips. My dream trip would be to rent an RV and go across New Zealand. But again, they drive on the opposite side of the road than they do here in Canada or the US. So I think learning how to drive or getting more comfortable at driving on the opposite side of the road in a little car versus an RV would be ideal. so that if I ever decide to do a trip like that, then it's not going to be so scary. It'll probably be scary, but I'm trying to make light of that. So the braiding crossing over is based on set of 3 for best effective look. Huh. And I realized I should have actually been, oh, well, I'm just doing that on this round now. Oh, that should have been, no, I'm not doing it. Screw it. This should have actually been a treble. But I'm going to stick with the double. Okay. It just means it'll be tighter. Okay, and then we turn our work and do the next round. Okay, that was round 6. Round 7. Move that to round 7. Get rid of that. And these guys got to go in the opposite direction. So there's going to be a total of 70 stitches going around. So I don't increase the stitches when it's going in the opposite direction to make it easier for the crocheter. But 70 stitches. Got it. Okay, let's turn our work around and do it. So Kelly is joining. Kelly, I need to get, I was talking about you yesterday. I need to get your tent back to you. If you want to meet for coffee later today, we can, if you have time. Probably in Colebrook at the Timmy's. So Tanisha does not drive, but they understand the nerves. Timmy's would be great. Okay. I'll contact you after, and then we'll meet up a time. I'll buy you coffee. And Kelly says, okie dokie smoky. So roundabouts are fun as long as you know how to drive them. No kidding. So I'm just crocheting the sample to make sure it's looking okay before I get too carried away with it. And now I have more decisions to make. So that's currently what the top looks like of the pumpkin. Okay. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I'm going to need 70. I'm on round number 8. Let me just grab that. Arrange, bring to the current layer, number 8, and ungroup. What am I going to do? I'm trying to look for 100 stitches in the round. I'm currently at 70, so I'm still 30 stitches away from that. What if what am I going to do? 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 I'm stuck. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I don't know what to do. These 3 are already set. These 4 are already set. And if I change that, then it changes the braiding. What am I going to do? 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 Does it matter if I change the braiding? What if I did the same braiding and it multiplied that? if I got 3, 6, 9, 12, so I could technically do that. That's really going to balloon this guy up, though. Grip. Ooh. So if I currently have, what was it? It was 14. So what if I did 14 plus? So what if it's 18? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So that's 6. So that'd be 14 plus 6 is 20 stitches times 5 gives me 100. That's the help desk going off, by the way. I'm not much help today, though. I'm working. Is that right? So I'll have 6, and then each 6 has an extra. Let's just do something because I don't know what to do. Oh dear, dear, dear. That's going to jump 30 stitches within the round. I don't even know if that's possible. Well, it's possible, but I don't know if it's possible. Let's just chart it and see what happens. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. $360 divided by 100 stitches. I think it's going to be 100. Oh dear, 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 what am I going to do? Dear, 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 dear. Okay, I need a blue. Well, we're just going to try it, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So what I'm trying to do is convert 4 braids into 6 in my brain. And that's not saying a lot, just so you know. Jamie, I just got an email on that. Let me take a look. I got somebody that just emailed me about that. Just hang on. Oh, it's you. Okay, just hang on. I cannot figure out how to attach the rest of the flakes after the 2 that you showed. It just stops at 2. I don't know how to add the rest. I saw people asking the same thing. Can you help me? So you're joining the 2. Joining the 2. Let me just refresh my brain on that. Just one second. Just give me a second. I'm going to remove this. It's got a familiar. I did that on a cruise ship. That one. Okay, so here we go. My apologies for this. Okay, so I think you can probably hear me now, right? Okay, so what we have here, Jamie, is that I had to watch my video and I did not want to get a copyright strike for you hearing it. So that's my apologies for that. So what we have here is that you have the starting motif here, and this number 7 is the final round, and you can see where it's going single crochet, then chain 3, and then single crochet back in. Okay, so this is the final round. Whenever you're about to attach, and I showed you this one here, joining number 2. So whenever you're doing the attaching, the last information is being substituted. So you got chain 1, slip stitch to the existing chain 3, and then chain 1, and then come back in. And where this is showing right here is the same information right here. So it's showing you exactly where to go. So whenever you're about to attach to anything, then you are substituting that information. So if you did joining number 3 here, you would be joining on this edge here. And then you would also be joining over on this edge here. Okay. So you're just following it around and just substituting the final round, right? So the way that I showed you how it attaches to one side, as soon as you have like 2 sides to attach to, then you'll attach here and here. And then once this one's done and you have another one like this, you'll be going here, here, and here. So you're just substituting the final round of making sure that you are slip stitching that together so that you can avoid the sewing. And hopefully that answers your question. Okay. Let's go back to what I was working on. Share screen. Okay, so what we got there. So let's get back to my thought process here. I have a hard time jumping between projects like that. Okay, so somebody gave a recommendation. Can you do a last braid at the first 2 together? That would eliminate 1 stitch in each. Can you do the last of the braid and first 2 together? That would eliminate 1 stitch. I want to, let me just see where this is going to land. So it's going to go there. I had a woman message over the help desk over the night, but I'm not going to answer her back. She's having a problem with one of my designs, but she said the pattern's messed up, but she doesn't tell me exactly what's messed up, so I don't know how to answer her, so I'm not going to bother. It's too open-ended of a question to be able to answer, because I don't know where to look in the pattern that she's having a problem with. Okay, so we got that. I'm gonna do it. No, I'm not. I'm gonna trust myself. I think I'm going to. We're basically converting 4 braids. So Rita says she's not helping. You might be helping. You never know. You might spur a thought process. I'm always a believer of that. I don't know all the answers. I'll be the first one to tell you that. Actually, I think I'm going to copy that and take it over here because I have 3 here and I can see it better. Okay, we're going to get rid of that guy out. And so I'm going to work backwards from there. So it's deliciously complicated. It's something. The question I have in my head is, am I going to be able to see the stitches? Or is there too much texture going on? That's going to be my ultimate question. But if I can do it, then I'll design it that way. So these guys are as a group, so I got to unseparate the group so it's easier to move this stuff around. So this guy goes here. There is such a thing in crochet where you can over design something, where you're designing something complicated when you probably don't need to. So I don't want to be getting in trouble for that. And we'll put this guy back together, group. So you think it'll have an interesting texture? I'm not sure. I won't know until I try, but I'm confident that this will work. And that will get me to 100 stitches. So I saw this stitch combination on one of the Yarn Inspirations patterns years ago. They used it for something that went in a round circle, and I thought, oh my God, it is so effective without breaking the brain cells to do it. Anyway, I really like the concept. So I kept it in the back of my brain for years, because there's easy ways to do braiding, and then there's not so easy ways. And this is, oh, we're gonna put that back together. Okay, so I think I got that together. Okay, let's try it. Divide by 5 pieces of the pie. Oh my God, this is going to make the crochetter's head spin. Oh well, let's try it out. Let's see if it works. Maybe we should call it the Exorcist pumpkin. Okay, so then so got the first 2. Ooh. So I'm going to have 6 braids. I just got to get through this round, I think, and then it'll get simpler. Oh God, people are going to want this filmed up too. Totally twisted pumpkin. Might be. Single. Okay, not impossible, not hard, just... So I just did one repeat so far. And I'm not really frogging, so that's good. The Dizzy Pumpkin. It's something all right. Without the texture, I lose interest in crochet. That's why I do texture work. My brain just kicks off as soon as it gets repetitive and boring. So this keeps me mentally interested in the game. It's 5 braids or 6. I think it's 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kelly, do you know how to read crochet diagrams? I think you do, right? Kelly says, oh yeah. She's just testing me today. It's going to say we can't be friends if you don't know how to read diagrams. Nope. Game over. Kelly, after I'm back from Scotland, I think we'll try to arrange probably a stitch session at my house. But don't hold me to it. But I got to get permission from Daniel. And I love the diagrams. I never understood before following the crochet crowd. So that was one of my reasons for joining Yarn Inspirations. They were one of the very few companies that were still doing crochet diagrams because they're expensive to make because you need a graphics designer. But the designer also has to understand how to read crochet patterns to make them. So it's a double skill. I know for myself if I don't chart it first, that the pattern may not work. So I chart it as I go. And some people, for whatever reason, are pretty hostile when I have the diagrams. I don't know why. But realistically, I cannot read a knitting diagram. I probably have to have somebody actually explain it to me, which I have friends that knit that can do that. I just never have asked. Just looks complicated. Speaking from a guy that actually does crochet diagrams. Oh, you have a place too, Kelly. Oh, interesting. So we have Touche Crochet joining us today. So you were in awe of the creativity. I don't know. I'm not that great of a designer, honestly. I wish that I could do amigurumi. I just can't. I lack the desire to learn amigurumi properly. What time is it? It's only 11:30. Kelly, do you have a preference of time to meet later? And do I need to box up my cats for you? Mm-hmm. What is your fable to crochet? I'm not sure what that means. I don't know. Kelly, do you want to take puppy dog for a walk? She can't walk very far, but we can take her. I can grab coffee if you want to. It's up to you. Okay, so that actually works. It's really something. Okay, so let's, round 9 is missing. 9. This took it to 100 stitches. Where to walk? Where do you want to walk? Sorry for the caps. Yeah. So I'm a blanket crocheter pretty much, but I am doing amigurumi today, which I suck at doing. But what color was that? That is going to be black. I'm going to Is there, Kelly, is there any place to walk out near you? Okay, so I'm on round number 9. And we know there's 100 stitches. So Kelly, why don't you just message me on Facebook Messenger? We can, because I'm probably going to take a break soon. Okay. Turn around. Oh, there's Kelly. Uh-oh, no, it's not. Oh. Okay. So Susan is joining us this morning. And I think I'm going to take a break. I need to go see Kelly return her stuff. And I think I got a good start to this project so far. Sorry about the beeping. It's Kelly. Yep. Let me take a look at what she's saying to me. Okay. It sounds like a plan. But Kelly, that's good. Yep. I have never walked back there, but that's okay. So Kelly, I'm going to finish up, and then I'll let Daniel know I'm going to take the dog for a walk, and I'll grab your tent and I'll meet you out there. So we'll go for Timmy's first, as you're alluding to, and we'll grab that and go for a walk. We just finished this round. Okay, so this is it for now. I'm going to pause my pattern that I'm working on. I have to return Kelly's tent. And we'll take the puppy dog for a walk. Okay, so we'll see how that's going so far. So it's a lot of texture, and that, but once you pop it the other way, it should actually work. And that's where I'm gonna stick it for now. So that's it for now. We hope that you have a great afternoon. It's currently almost noon my time, and we will have a good one. And until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd. So it's my friends here on YouTube and Facebook. And that's it. We'll see you.